So, hey guys, I'm Kerry West and welcome back to my photography channel. I'm gonna spank you in the mouth with another POV video today. It's a little different. I somehow was able to convince my body to let me get up at like 3:30 in the morning to shoot sunrise. There was a shot that I really wanted to get, and early morning was just the only time that the light would be right. And I took the obvious glory that is the Sigma 85mm f1.4 that you're watching this on. Probably my favorite lens. I generally only take it out at night just because it's hard to open that aperture up and really take advantage of it during the day. But early morning was nice and dark, so I was able to really play with it. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. As always, there's a pug hidden somewhere in this video, so if you're the first person to successfully post the timestamp where it's at, I will bring ham to your funeral. It won't be cooked though. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'll have that much time. I don't want to make any promises, so please enjoy the video. Alright, so here we are in blue hour just before sunrise, and I noticed that there was a crescent moon rising, so I took the opportunity to grab a couple silhouetted shots, sort of abstract, sort of gradient shots. Thought they turned out kind of cool. I actually really enjoyed this one. I darkened down the right side quite a bit and raised the highlights on the left side, and it sort of made this monolithic, mysterious sort of silhouette shot.
Oh, you gotta do it again.
It was a bit interesting to see people with so much energy at like 5:30 in the morning. So I really love going for these really dark edits, and I don't think that this is a great photo or anything, but I do think that it sort of illustrates a post-processing step that I've sort of learned and that a lot of people seem to miss. I see images on Instagram all the time where people are sort of going for those darker edits, and they don't really compensate with their white values, so their white ends up being too low as well, which just makes the whole image look underexposed. So it's just something I've learned, that if you're going for one of those dark edits, try to like compensate the overall darkness with your white value, so it sort of tricks the eye into just thinking that it's just a dark scene instead of an underexposed photo. Hey. I always love the simplicity and symmetry of shots like this, especially with that tiny church way off in the background. It just sort of ties the center point together. This place is called El Chapultepec, which I believe in English roughly translates to the Chapultepec. So I whipped out my third leg out here on the street corner, and fourth and fifth, and this was actually the shot I had in mind when I decided to go shoot sunrise. I always take this route to work, and Long's Peak way off in the distance always catches the morning light in a way that it just doesn't get in the afternoon. So I decided I definitely had to get up super early for this one. This didn't turn out to be so much of a street shot as more of a sort of composite cityscape image. I actually sat here for about 20 minutes with the same composition, and I was just waiting for all the right elements to come together and then blend them all into Photoshop. So I got this car in the center here, I got the train just behind it on the first bridge, and then a bus on the top bridge, all with the golden hour light. So I definitely think I could have used a longer focal length on this. The 85 just wasn't quite there. I had to crop it pretty substantially, but I still think it really kind of turned out cool. A lot of different layers and stuff, even though technically it's not all in one frame. I thought the corner of this building with this tree and the golden hour light just striking it was really eye-catching. The only thing I wish I would have done was start shooting a little bit early to get more of his shadow in the shot, but otherwise it's not too bad. I really liked this spot and the way that the reflections were sort of creating these leading lines leading up to the subject. The only problem I was facing was that there were so few people on the street that I kind of just had to settle for whoever was walking by, and this guy just had so many clothes on and stuff that you couldn't really see the defined outline of a human being. It was just kind of a blob of shadow in the center. There's another spot where it's really beautiful the way that the light was hitting it, but nobody was walking by. And oftentimes when I'm filming, I don't really decide to wait around too long because, you know, the GoPro has limited life. I feel like the whole video will be wasted in one spot if I don't just keep moving and try to get more images. And I do think that's something I should work on. I either need to go shooting a lot more just without filming and just get the images that I really want, or I just need to sacrifice a bunch of the images in the videos for fewer really good ones. It's definitely one of my favorite spots right here with these lights and just everything is so symmetrical. It's just too bad I missed focus because my brain is dumb. I ended up going pretty balls deep on this edit, just sort of darkening everything down but really emphasizing that morning light. And I'm sometimes caught between like the realism aspect or the just have fun with post-processing aspect. So let me know what you think of this one down below. Hung out next to this building for a few minutes waiting for people to walk in and through this area. I love this empty entryway and the really shiny marble floor, whatever that is on the inside. I thought it made for some really cool, interesting reflections and silhouettes. Here's the last image, and actually a really good way to end it, with taking a photo of a good friend of mine from years ago.
What up?
Without even knowing it was him.
I just took your photo, I didn't even know it was you. How you doing?
What are you doing up so early?
I'm shooting sunrise and stuff, you know? The little GoPro going, so. Yeah, man, it's fucking really nice, dude. It's about to get hot as shit, though, so I'm gonna head home here in a minute. Yeah.
I'm free whenever, dude. I'm gonna be chilling with the bike shop.
Alright, man. Yeah, I'll hit you up.
See you then.
Take it easy, buddy.
And with that, this video comes to a close. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know how often I'll be able to do this, to be honest, because getting up that early was extremely painful, but if you like me being in pain, then please like this video and subscribe. If you don't like the video or don't like me being in pain, then I don't know. Don't do any of that stuff. But do anyway, please. So I'll see you guys in the next one.